Give me a little background on the Southwest Housing Providers Group, and what exactly is that, and how does that benefit you or other investors or tenants or whatever?
So Southwest Housing Providers Group is a group that myself, Ivan, and our other associate Andy has created. Me and Ivan invest on the Southwest side, and Andy does insurance on the Southwest side. So what we said is we were going to a lot of networking groups, and it was like, hey, I have this, I got that, and I did this, and I did this, and then I got that. And you're like, but where is the instructions? Like, what do you mean you got all this stuff? Like, there was no thoroughness, and it felt very like they were just kind of, just wanting praise, of where they were at and flexing. Yeah, I guess you want to say that. So for me, I was just like, I wanted things to be more thorough. I wanted people to dive more deep, and like I said, we watched HEDV, and it was like they weren't really showing you those hardships. They weren't really talking about that stuff, right? So it was kind of like a no-brainer. I started to want to do my own thing because I started going to these things and asking these hard questions, and they were just kind of glimmering over them. So we met Mike Glasser from the MBOA, which he's an amazing president of the MBOA, as well as Rogers Park Group. And he talked to Ivan, my husband, and was like, you should create your own group. And my husband was like, no, it's not so much. I don't want to be the leader. I think my wife is that person because I'm the process person. And when he said, would you be open? And I did it. It was literally within like 3 or 4 months that I just started pushing forward. And it was for me to have a group, a community for housing investors to come, to get educated, to not feel that they were going to be judged based off their mistakes or the things that they didn't know, how I was going to provide that support and provide a community of support to raise awareness of the things that everybody should know. I want it to be something where people can ask a question and not feel attacked, not feel like they're going to feel like they're being dumbed down, that I'm going to raise you up, because I didn't have that. I wish I would have had a community when we first started. There were so many trials and tribulations, so many tears and frustrations that we went through. I didn't have a support, and when you don't have a community, you don't have family, you don't have friends that understand you, it can be very lonely and it can be very strenuous. So why not build that for each other? And the benefit is not only my education and my strength, but obviously building connections, being able to build relationships with bankers and, other housing providers. There's things that I learn every single time we have conversations. There's something like a little token, a little nugget that I'm getting from another person that I could implement in my process, or a referral. For instance, like we had an issue, because of this cold. Our heating guy right now is not currently in, and having that community, we were able to share who's your HVAC guy, who's your heating guy. And now I have 10, 15 contacts that we can contact in case of these emergencies. And that's what you need.
That's why to get involved in these groups, because you're going to be able to benefit from all of the other people that have these connections, whether they be attorneys, like you said, HVAC guys. I have a great handyman I work with that can do, virtually anything and is spot on, always on time, reasonably priced. And, so when you get in groups like this is the value of it, at taking advantage of everybody else's experience and avoiding the mistakes that they made.
Yeah.
And so how do people, if they wanted to get involved in that group, where do you guys meet? How do they get involved in it?
Okay, so Southwest Housing Providers, we do have our own webpage, is www.swhpg.com. We post our meetups on there. We also have it on Meetup. We also have it on Facebook. And then what we generally do is every second Wednesday of the month, we meet up. Right now, our meetup is at 𝐠, which is on the south side of Chicago, right in the Midway area. It's every second Wednesday from 6 to 9. Our next meetup is February 15th, because unfortunately the second Wednesday of the month is Valentine's Day, and we don't want to spoil anybody's Valentine's Day. So we're having it February 15th, which is that Thursday. And our next meetup is going to be basically, we're having CIC, we're going to have Catholic Charities. We're going to have them come in and talk about different rental programs